Hi and hello, welcome to today's video. I want to talk about like my TBR for the upcoming months because there's like new releases that I'm very excited for, and there is a second book here that I want to read, I think before July, so right before summer starts, because I think these books in here that are a few that are like summer reads, but or for during our spring break. I think these are perfect. So there's a mix of fantasy, fiction, and romance and romantasy, and just a little bit of everything that I tend to read these days. So I'm very happy to show them. If people like this, I will try and do one when July is here, so for like August, October, September, November, December, for like the end of the year. So I might do this like 2 times a year, just to talk globally about my TBR. And I think around December, when like my 27 books of 2027 will come around, some of these books are from there, and some of these books are just what I got over the last few weeks and are coming up. I think there are like 3 or 4 releases that are coming out during this period, and that is Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. I'm not sure when it comes out, but I think it's in April, I think. Don't call me on that. But the first one is Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. I love her books, so very excited for it. The second one is Game On by Navessa Allen. Really like Lights Out and Caught Up. So very excited for that one. Love Song by Elle Kennedy. Also very excited about about that one. And there's another one coming up. I forgot which one it is. Oh yeah, In Our Own League by Liston 40. Almost forgot that one, but I think that one and Game On are both in March, and the other 2 are more during April, May times, I think. So those are 4 releases I am looking forward to. But I don't count. Yeah, they are not on my TBR currently, because my TBR on Goodreads and whatever is my physical books. So they're more on my mental-ish TBR. So with that being said, we're gonna start with this little pile here. I'm scared they will fall eventually, so we're gonna have to make this a little bit more stable. But starting off with I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. She is one of the actors in iCarly, and I think this is about her time being in iCarly and stuff like that. About something like that, I think. I'm not too sure, because I tried to look up what this book was about, and it just says quotes from other people. So, but I think this is more like a biography kind of thing. Very excited about it. A friend of mine is actually also reading this. He's all at like 67%. So, he's like, if you read this, come back to me and we'll talk. We'll yap. So very excited. And if I think I'm going to be reading The Night and the Moth, as you can see like up there, I think this is going to be my next read. Just because I've read so much fantasy lately that I'm kind of in the mood to read something else. And I don't know if it's particularly romance or not, but something else. Otherwise, I think I will burn myself out with reading too much fantasies. But then I have 2 books that I want to read in like the springtime, like June, maybe. Which is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I'm very excited about it. I'm just reading the back. I haven't read the back. I've heard great things about this book. But I think this is about them having a screenplay together. What I can gather from the back. But Catherine Center, I read her book The Bodyguard back in 2024, and I read that in like a day. So this will be also like pretty fast, I think. It's just a little over 300 pages, so we'll see. Very excited about it. Then I have a book that I've been debating on getting since it came out, which is Be a Menace, Say You Remember Me. I was thinking, or I saw it in the bookstore and I was like, I'm not sure, because I read Just for the Summer by her. And I liked that one. I really liked it. And then I heard things about this book and a certain book character mentioned, and I was like, I'm not sure about that. But I finally picked it up and I'm very excited to see what it's about. Don't ask me what this is about. I don't know. I feel like I say that in every single TBR video I make. I want to say that I want to know, but I tend to go into my books completely blind. Other than what I saw from other TikTokers or booktubers and their reviews, so I'm very sorry. Yeah, he's a veterinarian. English. We love words that are hard to pronounce. But I think he's a vet. And she comes in with her dog and they meet and they have this whole meet cute, I think, at the vet. Yeah. So there's that. Those are the first 3 books. Then I have a series that's currently going wild, is making its rounds, but it is the Game Changer series by Rachel Reed. I want to read the first 3 books. So you have the Game Changers, Heal Rivalry, and Tough Guy. I have the first 3 for until July, and then the other 3 I have for my summer TBR. So I am watching the series right now and I really like it. I am up to date until like the 3rd episode because we get them every Friday. So up until the 3rd episode. I think I want to read them in order, so like how they are on Goodreads. Because I don't know what the other reading order is. If you know and you want to let me know, do it in the comments. So I know somewhat of like the main couples. I know Shane and Ilya are a couple. And they're getting also a 3rd book, I think. And then the other guy from episode 3. Yeah, Scott and Gib. Which is funny because Gib means chicken in Dutch. So every time I say that or see that name or when I'm gonna read that name, I'm gonna think of chicken. You'll learn shit every day. I also have like a thing that I have like this note to myself that I want to read 1 thick book every single month, because I have like 3 or 4 still on my TBR, which are like 700-800 pages long, and this is one of them, which is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. I am up to date with this series up until this book, so I'm gonna read it. And the same as Say Remember Me, I've been debating on picking this up since it came out, and then I finally got it, and now I'm like, it's time to read it. But also I heard so many things that it's gonna be traumatizing and everything, so we'll see about that. But I did really like the 5 other books in this series, because there's a book 6. But it's gonna take me a while, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna read it. But I think it's gonna be in March or in April, because beginning of March, 2 of my favorite authors are releasing a book, and I want to read that ASAP. So we'll see about that. But this is about Lizzie and Hug. Very excited. People say it's gonna be traumatic. People gonna say it's gonna hurt. I'm scared for that. Then I have a duology, which I got the first book from Vinted, which is a Verilute edition, I think, or a Lumicrate edition, which is A Student Drowning by Ava Reed. I'm really excited for this, actually. Like, this book, it is stunning. Like, I'm so happy I got it for like a reasonable price. Like, this was 20 euros. That's nothing, you know, for like an Lumicrate book. That's really nothing for like a resale price. But I don't know. I don't know too much about this book, but I think it's a bit like Dark Academia vibes. So this is book 1. And then I also have A Theory of Dreaming. This is book 2. And I think it's gonna be a duology. I hope. This is also like the most stunning edition. I got this last week when I was at the bookstore. I went with my friend to a little bit up north from the Netherlands to see a big bookstore there. And they had this one. And I was hoping they would be the same size, but they're not. But that's fine. It's fine. We're not gonna talk about it. But I think this is a bit like dark academia and a little bit of fantasy, I want to say. I haven't read too much into it, but very excited. Also heard very great things about it. Then I have 2 other thick ass books. But it is to keep me, or to get me, I think, up to date with like this series, or at least what I have on my shelves. Which is The Sinner by Chantal Tashier. If I say that correctly, I'm sorry if I don't. And then The Sacrifice. This is part 2, this is part 3. This is a dark revenge romance and a dark college romance. I read The Ritual in January, and I had strong opinions about that book. Like, why are they in college and why are they so broody? But I want to see where these 2 go, because I got them like offended. I think I paid for, in total, I paid 30 euros for them. So, still a bargain. But very excited for both of these. They follow different couples, because The Ritual was a couple, this is a couple, and I think this is a couple. And I do think there's a 4th couple, or a 4th book release from a different couple. I'm not sure about that. I tend to go into these as blind as well. I don't want to know too much. The person who sold me these books smoked in their house, so sometimes I get like whiff of smoke, which is not my favorite. But dark romance, very excited. I love switching up my fantasies with dark romances, because I don't take them too seriously. Like The Ritual and me, we have beef with each other, so very excited to see those other 2. And then I have a other duology by K.M. Moronova, which is, the first one is Your Knife, My Heart, and the second one is Your Blade, My Back, or My Blade, Your Back. I think this is a dark military romance. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into this as well, but I saw this at the bookstore and I really like those edges, and I was like, okay, I have to get them both. So I got them both, and then I saw the offer was a little bit problematic, so I do want to read them, but this might be the only time I'm mentioning the books, just so we're clear. Then I have 2 other books, or the 2 last books, and they're both fantasies, which is Wild Reference by Rebecca Ross. And I think this is like a prequel to Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. I also got this, like a bargain on Vinted. And it's like this beautiful spread edge. So I'm very happy. I had like in January, like I think the last 2 weeks of January, I had this shopping spree on Vinted where I got like all these beautiful editions. And I was like, add to the cart, add to the cart, add to the cart. So that's how I ended up with these books. So I think that's like also my tip. If you want to have cheap books that look fun, look on Vinted or some reseller site. Sometimes they're going for insane prices, but sometimes you really find some good bargains. This was one of them. Like I said, I think this is a prequel to Divine Rivals. I don't know too much about it as well. But she's a goddess from the underworld. Yeah, very excited about it. And then I think the other male main character, he wrote to her in a way, and now they have met. I don't know, I will tell you more about it once I know more. But yeah, and then as the last book I have Daughter of No Worlds like Marissa Broadbent. And I also have like her other books on my TBR, which is the Ashes and the Stalker's Queen. Also very excited about it. And I got this also last week at like the bookstore. It's such a stunning edition, by the way. Look at this. And also the hardback. It's not cloth bound, but I really like it. Don't ask me what this book is about, but this is a book that I'm also very excited to read about. What I wanted to do with like this little TBR I made is switch romances and fantasies with each other, because I think otherwise I will get way too overstimulated with like one single romance or one single genre, and now I could switch. But I do want to read more fiction books, because I read As Long as Lemon Trees Grow and I really liked it. That's what made me want to read more fiction. And I also read Frederick Beckman, his Beartown series. I read that one. And Kathleen Glasgow's books, like The Glass Girl, You Be Home Now. Those books, I read them. So if you have any other fiction book recommendations, let me know in the comments, because I want to know. I'm really excited for these books, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.